All right, y'all. So this week is real. The Battlefield open beta, early access beta, whatever you want to call it, is here. Starting August 7th for all the early adopters, but starting the 9th for literally everybody else. This is our first chance as the masses to get into the new era of Battlefield. And I'm not gonna lie, this one's got a lot of weight on it. It's got a lot of weight on it. So I want to talk about a few things of why this beta, and more importantly, you, yeah, that's right, I'm talking to you, will be very important for literally everything going forward. So let's get to it, right? First and foremost, I think this is probably like the first time for honestly a long time where like the beta actually really matters. I feel like this time around, DICE, Battlefield Studios, whatever you want to call them, EA, they're like really trying to take, at least this is what it seems right now, they're really trying to take into account the community feedback, the community sentiment, and they're taking that input seriously and like actually trying to implement things based off of the feedback that people are giving to the game, whether it's based off of the stuff they're finding in Battlefield Labs, the stuff they're seeing in comments from the reveal, all that. It looks like they're really trying to have a dialogue with the community for right now and move Battlefield in a way that like benefits any and everybody who will give it the time of day, right? And I think that above all else should go to show how important this beta will be for launch and honestly beyond, right? And I feel like one thing that will definitely make this a better experience for literally everybody will be the feedback that we give in this beta. Now obviously, right, all the content creators and the press, they're going to give their opinions, you know. Probably as soon as August 7th comes around, you're going to see all the fucking Battlefield beta is out, this is what I think, you know. You're going to see it. If you're on YouTube and you're in the Battlefield space, you know this is what's going to happen. I'm probably going to do it. You know what I'm saying? But it's expected from content creators and press because it's literally their, dare I say, our job to like do that, right? But where I feel like it's also more important than that is y'all, the like majority of people who are actually going to be playing the game in the beta, right? Especially the beta, because this is the time where literally anybody can jump in. If you have like a PC or a next gen console that can handle the game, obviously this is the time that you literally have to jump in and try the game for yourself, whether you're a new Battlefield fan, an old Battlefield fan, you've dabbled, you never played, whatever, right? Literally any and everybody has the opportunity to jump in and play and give their feedback on the beta, right? And speaking of feedback from you guys and also content creators too, but I'm really talking to y'all here because this is our bubble, you know. I've got homies that are like in the content space, but this is the Carl bubble, this is the CJ bubble. So if you're here, you're in the bubble, right? The one thing that I definitely wanted to talk about first was, if you have feedback, be specific, you know. I know it goes without saying, but just give it a little extra oomph, you know. You like this because you don't like this because. We can't just say things sucks or I like it, you know. It's not your job to fix it, but it is kind of your job to say why you don't like it. And you gotta at least, I'm not even saying meet them halfway, yeah, you gotta at least throw the rock at the right spot. You're just chucking that bitch. Or if you're shooting fireworks, you know, at least shoot it up in the air. You're just you know what I'm saying? Give your words some meaning, you know. Be specific, bro. Tell them what you don't like about something, tell them why you like something. Both constructive and positive feedback has, be specific, you know what I'm saying? And then on top of that, right, I think it's really important to focus on, there's a two-pronged approach here, right? First and foremost, focus on the core gameplay loop, guns, moving, aesthetics, all that, right? Everybody is different, so you're going to take things differently, you're going to see things differently based off of your background, right? Whether that's the way the guns sound, the guns feel, the way the soldiers move, the way the vehicles feel, the way the map looks, terrain looks, all that stuff will stand out because literally anybody who plays the game will be looking at it from hour 1 to hour 45 of the session. Right? So I think it's very important to focus on the core pieces of the game, because regardless if you're a tank player, a jet player, assault support, medic, whatever, that's going to impact literally everybody, right? If the game is ugly to look at or something sounds off or gross and you pick it up, see something, say something, you know what I'm saying? And then my second part about that is, and I kind of touched on it a little bit, and this kind of goes for mainly more experienced Battlefield people, but everybody's different. So that means you're going to have different sort of, dare I say, expertises or proficiencies in other things. Some people I know are super gun nuts, you know. Some people I know are super artsy, super detail oriented. Some people are very into the sound of things. You know, you'll have things that just click for you that like somebody else might not look that much into, you know what I'm saying? And I think it would be very beneficial for people to like have that part of themselves be focused on in the game as well. You know, like I said, if you know your way around guns and you know that AR sounds like ass or it doesn't sound like close to the counterpart that's actual in real life, you know, that's a baseline scenario. But I'm just saying, like, see something, say something. That's all I'm saying, you know. Secondly, the thing that I want to talk about, again, I kind of touched on it a little bit earlier, but again, it's a beta, you know. Obviously it's not going to be finished. Don't just complain. You know, nobody likes the person that just complains all the time. You know, if you don't like it, cool, but like try to be constructive, but also try to find things that you like about it. You gotta even it out, you know. Even if you're more negative leaning, more constructive leaning, you gotta even it out. You can't hate everything, bro. You can't hate everything. That's just like kind of impossible. At that point, you're just being weird. There's enough weird motherfuckers on the internet. Don't add to them, bro. That's all I'm saying. Use the time to find something. There's gotta be something you like. The soldier outfit, the way the fucking sky look. You hate the sky, bro? Come on, dude. Like, find something you like. And also, if you like everything, find something you don't like. You can't like everything. I'm sorry. Even as someone who's super positive and like glass half full like me, there gotta be something you don't like. You like the sky, but do you like the dirt? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's gotta be something you don't like. There's gotta be something you like. Find the balance. Find the balance. Speaking of which, again, this is a beta. This is something for everybody to get into. So it's not really just you. You know, you're adding to the conversation of literally the Battlefield community to the devs. So you want to like, your input is important, because your input could be the same thing that like somebody else is looking for to add, and you could be like the go ahead green light to be like, you know what, yeah, I didn't really like that too, or you know what, yeah, I actually really did like that, or you know what, I didn't even think about that. You bring up a good point, and now that you actually talk about it, I think so and so, right? You never know. You could be the catalyst for someone to like go super big brain Einstein about something just because, for whatever reason, right? And that's what I'm saying. Like, it's important for you to speak up and essentially do your part, no matter how small you feel like it might be. You know, it could have an impact, a ripple effect, a butterfly effect, whatever you want to call it, somewhere, you know. And I've been talking a lot about like going to different places and saying these things. Hey man, it's the internet. There's, at least for right now, there's a lot of places you can go to yap about these type of things and share your opinion. You know, Twitter, Reddit, Instagram, YouTube, Twitch, whatever, right? If you got nowhere, you at least can do it here. You at least can do it here. If there's one thing I'm trying to do for my spaces on the internet, is make it an area where people can come and talk about the stuff that they either like or don't like. If you're one of those weirdos that's going to fucking rage bait, this is the Concord 2.0. We don't do that over here, bro. I'm mag blasting your shit immediately. Just letting you know, fair warning. I'm not saying you can't give constructive feedback. That's way different. That's way different. Don't be weird, bro. Don't be weird. There's already too many weirdos on the internet. Don't add to it, bro. You can be a hater, just be a hater with some substance. That's all I ask. You can be a glazer, be a glazer with some substance. That's all I ask. You know what I'm saying? We like a little bit of substance over here. Nobody's saying you gotta be a fucking brainiac. You gotta write a Wikipedia article or some shit like that. But you know, just give some extra thought, some extra oomph to your words, to your opinion. You know, it's important. As regardless if you feel like people want to hear it or not, throw your opinion out there. Throw your 2 cents out there. People gonna do it anyway. Don't let the dickheads do it. Don't let the dickheads be the only one to throw their 2 cents out. We already have way too much of that, bro. We need some more people with some sense. even if you are a dickhead, be a dickhead with some substance. You know what I'm saying? Like, just have a little bit of substance, have a little bit of extra, you know. But for all my kids in school, where's the BCR, ECR, whatever it's called, you know, write your thought out. And because also, you know, add the extra on top of it. You need that. I don't want to make this too long, but like I said, case in point, the beta is a very important time for literally everybody. Regardless if you're a player, if you're a dev, if you're a content creator, if you're a journalist, whatever. It's the time for you to not only try the product for yourself to see if you like it, but to also give it some input and some feedback, because it's always going to be valuable if you add value to it, right? Especially for people who are big Battlefield fans. You know, this is probably the first time in a long time where the game is really looking like it's got some steam behind it. So it's better to be more vocal about what you like and what you don't like than not, because the last thing we need / want is another 2042 situation. Now, again, I know that's kind of more on the dev side, but again, you can add to that conversation. You can also retract from that conversation. There's been a lot of companies, games, whatever, where it's like, you know what, the crowd is just too toxic, too bullshit. We're gonna stonewall it. We don't need that, especially right now. Battlefield 6 is in a way too delicate state to have that happen. I know things look pretty good right now, but that shit could easily go sour by the end of the week. So let's make sure we're, at least as a community, we're on our P's and Q's about things, and we'll see what happens there. Also, selfishly for me, I'm not gonna be able to play weekend 1, so I need some input on what's happening. I'm trying to keep my pulse on the community, at least to see what's happening. So let your boy know what's going on. Till then, hey, I'm gonna be here. Come yap, come talk, write out your thoughts. I'll be sure to write out mine and yap about mine when I can finally get my hands on the game on week 2. But until then, yeah, let your boy know what's happening, do all the YouTube stuff, all that good stuff, and I'll catch y'all in the next one.